Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for, this is your January bonus reading. This reading is going to represent the energy of the fact that we have 10 conjunctions between January 6th and the 29th. I will explain that more in just a second. You have this crescent moon card. It says, as the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness. Stay positive. You have this dolphin spirit that says, stop taking life so seriously and splash some joy in your everyday life. Yes, definitely true. I think you need to have more fun right now, Aries. It's going to be a pretty serious year. I think your personality is going to be even more serious, over the next few years, especially with, Neptune and Saturn moving back into your sign, especially Saturn, but Neptune will have a similar effect in some ways. So, making sure that you're having fun, that you're doing things that you love, doing things you enjoy, definitely seems to be important for not just you, but for pretty much everyone. So definitely something I would focus on. Again, we have 10 conjunctions this month, which is pretty crazy. I couldn't find another time where we've had 10 conjunctions. If you don't know what conjunctions are, it's when two or more planets are right next to each other. Some astrologers say 8 degrees, within 8 degrees. Some say 10, I say 5, because why not? I think that 5-degree orb is a true conjunction in astrology. So again, we have 10, between 4 will be in Capricorn, the other 6 will be in Aquarius. You start with the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can be like heartbreak or sadness or whatever. I think it's a good time for healing at this time. So just, Three of Swords, sure, could represent a breakup or whatever. But to me, that's not the point of tarot. Actually, I think it's caused more problems in tarot, is saying like, oh, you're going through a heartbreak. It's like, how is that helpful? It's not. So I prefer to focus on solutions. The solution to the Three of Swords is to remove those swords from your own heart. Three of Swords is about forgiveness. Sometimes we have to forgive ourselves. Sometimes we have to forgive people or situations. And again, it doesn't have to be love. It could be anything. So I feel it's time for you to focus on that healing with the Three of Swords, and maybe even healing things from the past I'm getting, like a long past. It's like you could be closing things out from years ago. And again, we don't have to forgive people directly. We just have to forgive them in our heart, and then we can heal. So that's what I would do with that card. Your crossing energy is the Two of Swords. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. And so the words I'm getting here, Aries, are like never again. But the way that I'm getting that is that some of you feel that you're not going to have something again. Like whatever it is, it could be anything. And I feel like the universe is I kind of feel very funny about it, because I feel like the universe is like, yeah, you're right. You're never going to have that again, but you could have something better. She has this island behind her. She is thinking that she only has 2 options here, but she has like a bunch of options over here on this island behind her. That island represents a third place solution. I always say Two of Swords is my card of third place solutions, which means, most people think this or that, but especially this year, we have Uranus moving into Gemini in April, which is third place solution. So, I think that people in general, whether they realize it or not, are going to be looking for unique solutions to basically everything they're dealing with. But this doesn't have to just be bad things, as I always say. It's like we can improve good things that are already going well. We can find other ways of doing things that we're already doing that are working, and we can make it even better. So, the Two of Swords wants you to stay open, stay flexible, wants you to innovate, experiment, try new things, and be open to other ways of looking at things. She has this blindfold on, and the blindfolds in the tarot say that she's not trusting her intuition. And so your intuition could be telling you to do things that might not really make sense, but I would experiment with those things that might not make immediate sense, because who knows what the outcome will be. Aries, could be something amazing. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the moon. The moon can represent fears, fantasies, illusions, not seeing things clearly. The trick with the moon is we have to get from here to these mountains, because the mountains represent the achievement or the success that could be coming in for you if you climb the mountains. And the trick with the moon is to also realize that the moon is temporary. It doesn't last forever. The moon comes up, moon goes down, sun comes up. So it's eventually there is clarity. And so maybe that right now, the second that you're watching this reading, you're feeling a lack of clarity. I do get again, the way that I read is I put myself in your shoes. And So it's like what I feel for you, Aries. It's like I feel like you don't feel necessarily bad right now. It's like you feel motivated to me, but also not motivated at the same time. I don't know, very strange feeling. It's like sometimes I think we can get into that space where it's like we kind of feel motivated, like we feel ready to do something, but we're also like not motivated. We also feel like we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle to start taking action. And, maybe that's where you are right now. In the area of your foundation, you have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands can, number one, this could be part of your solution here, Aries, is like if you're doing too much, that could be part of the problem with this card. He just needs to get to here. This is his home. Personally, I like the Ten of Wands because he's about to have a harvest, right? He's very close to his home. He's carrying his harvest, and like once he gets there, he's going to have success. But, at the same time, those wands are all right in front of his face. And so he can't see like how close he is. He can't even see where he's going. So it's like sometimes, we need to look at what we're doing, and we need to say like some of the things that I'm doing are important. Other things are not as important, and you kind of have to be willing to put some obligations or responsibilities down to lighten the load. The other thing that I always say with the Ten of Wands is it's like, why is he carrying those wands? It's like maybe he has like a tractor, or maybe he has some like horses that could carry those wands for him. So sometimes I think the and again, this reading, definitely like a solution reading, I would say. It's like encouraging you to find solutions. And it's like saying, are you doing things the hard way when you could go pull up your tractor, your John Deere tractor, put all those wands on it, and you could just drag them to your house? It would be like way less work. So I feel like I need to ask you, like, what are you making harder than it needs to be? I don't know, but I feel like some of you, and again, this isn't a criticism, trust me, this is all I do all day long, is I make things harder than they need to be. I love overcomplicating things, Aries, so I'm right there with you. But, at the same time, if there's a better way that you can discover by staying open with that Two of Swords, then that's what I would be doing, right? And I would really look into that. It's like sometimes when I see these readings, it's like I don't know, I think online it's a big problem, right? It's like I see people all the time where it's like they'll see someone giving advice and they'll be like, well, this person likes the Red Sox, so I can't listen to anything that they're saying. And it's like, well, it's like, what if they have the solution to your problem? It's like, really? You're because they're on the other team, you're going to totally ignore everything they say? That's pretty close-minded, right? So it's like sometimes with the Ten of Wands, I think we just need to expand our mind. We need to realize that, even people we disagree with, or even, whatever. It's like I see all sorts of ridiculous stuff. I just was talking about this the other day. One of my favorite books of all time is called One Sentence Persuasion. And it's like if you read the review, it used to have way worse reviews. I'm not saying it was me, but I started recommending that book, and now it has really good reviews on Amazon. So I'm not saying I'm responsible for that, but I don't know, pretty interesting. If you read some of the reviews on that book, everybody complains because they're like, the author's trying to sell me something. And it's like, that's all you got from that freaking book? That book, I cannot even tell you how much money that book made me, right? A lot. And so, again, especially more when I was working in marketing, but it's an amazing book, right? But everybody hated on it. It's like it's like you have to be able to look past those things sometimes, and you have to be able to pull a little chunk of gold from those opportunities, right? No matter what. And, I kind of feel like the Ten of Wands is saying that. Next, in the area of your past, you have this Happy Happy card and this Fork in the Road card. And so the Happy Happy card is one of my favorite cards in this deck, because that girl, she's like channeling happiness through the top of her head, which I encourage everyone to find things that make you more happy, because, I don't know, trust me, it's like I was miserable for like 4.5, 5 years of my life. I was stuck in my room doing nothing, and yeah, my life sucked, right? And it wasn't until I started doing things that like made me happy that my life changed. It's a pretty easy recipe. I don't really have any secrets to success. That is my secret right there, right? And the other thing that I do is I experiment every frickin' day of my life, right? So there you go. There's no course to buy. There's no nothing. I just told you, right? That's all you have to do. Pretty simple. And what I would say here is that I feel like some of you in the past felt like you had to choose between something that like made you happy and something else. It's almost like you're getting a chance to like reverse this. I don't know. Pretty weird message. I like it. I feel like it's good here, Aries. I'm not saying you're like going back to a person from the past or anything, but I do feel like you're being given the chance to like reverse a past decision. I feel like if this is for you, you already probably know what I'm talking about. And it's like, it might not be exactly the same. It's like maybe you missed out on an opportunity and, you feel like you're never going to get that opportunity again. And that's probably true. I kind of said that at the beginning of the reading. But I feel like you're going to be able to get something that's like pretty similar. So, if you have any repeat opportunities, even though this is coming up in a past position. And by the way, the number 13 is popping into my head as well as being important. So like the 13th of January might be important for you, or in 13 days it might be important. But again, there could be an opportunity that comes around that reminds you of a past opportunity, and it's like you're reversing something here. So there you go. You have the Queen of Pentacles also in the past. Yes, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before, Aries, that, it's almost like you are getting away from having to just like kind of scrape by. I don't mind the Queen of Pentacles. I think she's perfectly fine. And, she can represent multiplication as well. So she is one of my, I wouldn't say favorite cards, but I do like her because I like focusing on multiplication, multiplying what works, right? That's what she does for success. But she is the card of resourcefulness. Like sometimes when she comes up in a reading, it's because you have had to be resourceful, meaning that like maybe you're not like suffering financially, but you've been like just scraping by more or less. And but I do feel good about this because I kind of feel like that is something that is going to be changing. Maybe because of these, these transits, these conjunctions, these 10 conjunctions we're having this month, definitely could be why. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this Ascendant card. It says Entrance on it, and you have this 8th house card that says Mystery on it. And we see a lot of mystery here. 2 of Swords with the blindfold. The Moon is a card of mystery as well. So could be a good time for you to like dig into mysteries. I kind of feel like we're in a mysterious time. It's like nothing is... I have been saying since Neptune went into Pisces that I don't trust anything. Literally, you can go back to my lives on my channel when I used to go live, separate them out by oldest. I used to say this all the time, that we are, it's like, I think it's always true that we're basically living in a movie, but it's like extra true right now. So it's like, I don't even, believe anything, anything on the news, anything we see, the AI images they try to tell us are real, like that they're putting out. It's like, none of this is real, people. It's all fake, right? So, there's like a lot of mystery. And I don't know. On one hand, it's like enjoy the movie, enjoy the show, right? On the other hand, if there are mysteries in your life, then I would definitely be getting to the bottom of those mysteries because, number one, in 2025, we had Pluto go retrograde back to the beginning of Aquarius. It went retrograde to like 1.12 degrees or something like that, right to the beginning. And when Pluto goes retrograde, it wants us to like get to the bottom of something. It wants us to, kind of like dig into something and not just skim the surface, right? So we had Pluto retrograde. We have the Sun conjunct Pluto on January 23rd. So that is one of the 10 conjunctions we're having this month. And it's very powerful, but again, if there's anything that is a mystery, any opportunities, anything you want to learn about, anything that excites you, random thoughts that pop into your head that excite you, I would definitely be, don't just skim the surface, dive a little bit deeper because who knows what you will discover. Pluto is all about power, and what you discover might give you power or might bring you power in your life. Also, in the very near future, you have the Magician. Yeah, I like the Magician for you, especially with Neptune going into your sign on the 26th, Aries. I do think that Neptune is great for manifestation. It's going to be in your sign for quite a while, and so it's going to be a good time to like work on manifesting and things like that. I always tell people, like, even if you don't believe, which is perfectly fine, I don't even know, like, I feel like I manifested things, but can I prove it? No. But what I would say is that it's free. It doesn't cost any money to try it, right? So, affirmations are free, and it's like that's something that I do that I think helps me manifest. Again, is it true or not? I have no freaking clue. But does it make me feel better? Yes. So that's why I do it, right? And I feel like the Magician is saying, like, do things like that. Do things that make you feel better, because that will help you manifest. And even if manifestation isn't real, you'll be more positive, right? So how is that a bad thing? I don't think it is. I also feel you are definitely transforming. The Magician, he has a snake wrapped around his waist here, and the snake represents the Ouroboros, which represents reinvention, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised if, we see a very different Aries kind of forming over the next couple of years here. It's like you are changing in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of things around you, even your surroundings, are undergoing like a transformation. So it's really a good time to become the thing you want to be. Next, in the area of your outcome, you have this conclusions are within reach card. You also have this card that says, don't let your past hold you back. Yes, we kind of talked about that. But at the same time, it's almost like you're not going back to the past. It's like you're being given the opportunity to, make the same decision twice, but it's different. Does that make sense, Aries? I don't know. But that is the message I'm getting on that fork in the road card. It's like the same, it's like a similar, it's not the same, but I think it's something similar. It's like you're being given the chance to like make a decision over again, is what I'm getting here. And, I think that it's going to make you very happy, Aries. So, all in all, I feel it's a good thing. Next, in the area of your next few months, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yes, I think it would be an amazing time for the first few months of this year until April, really, to be a nerd, basically, Aries. Like, again, like I said, with that mystery card, dive deep into topics that you are interested in. Learn as much as you can. Educate yourself. He is the card of studiousness. He gets that pentacle by, learning how to get more pentacles. So, sure, this could be financial, but it doesn't have to be. It could be anything. It could be about love, business, health, whatever. But it's like the more you learn, the more you earn, right? But again, that doesn't have to be money. It could be a result, an outcome, an energy, whatever it is you want. And I think learning as much as you can for these first few months of the year would be very good for you. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, Aries, we've talked about this for 2 or 3 years now. I feel like either some of you have moved away from home and now you're moving back home, or vice versa. It's like maybe some of you did already move back home and you're moving away from home is what I'm seeing. I don't know. Whatever. But I literally said on that Magician that your surroundings could undergo a transition or a transformation. So it wouldn't really surprise me if some of you were moving. I feel a move would be very, very good for you here, Aries. I think that we don't think about how the energy affects us, or how it could, it's like how the energies are important in our life, especially if you do astrocartography, for example. I'll tell you a crazy story. I moved to Seattle years ago, and my Chiron line runs, basically runs through through Seattle to the eastern side of it, basically. So I moved there, and then when COVID happened, I moved back home to where I'm from. See, it's a secret. Some of you know. But I moved back home because of COVID, right, during COVID. And then when COVID was over, I moved back to Seattle, which is weird because Chiron is all about healing. It's just one of those weird things that I did that, because of a disease, right? And so, it's you never know until you look into your astrocartography, for example, why it's important. Why was it important for me to move away from that line? The wounded healer, Chiron, during COVID, I don't know, right? Pretty interesting. So, again, I don't know, it's popping into my head. You might want to look at astrocartography. It is pretty complicated, but it's pretty easy to figure out. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Ace of Wands. Love to see it. Probably the best card. If you asked me at the beginning of the reading what card I would really like to see, maybe the Ace of Wands, because I feel with all this energy moving back into Aries, the more excited and more fired up and the more happy you are, Aries, I think the better things will go. And the Ace of Wands is that spark of hope, or that spark of inspiration sometimes that we need, that gets us motivated to take action that makes us successful. So, again, I'm pretty happy to see this Ace of Wands here. Next, and finally, with the your outcome, you have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is about charging forward. I feel pretty good about the Knight of Swords. It's kind of felt like I wouldn't worry about tripping this year. Again, these readings are meant for these 10 conjunctions, which are happening between the 6th and the 29th, but I read intuitively. So, I feel like this year, it's there might be some moments where you stumble or you feel like you're going to stumble. But, at the same time, the Knight of Swords, I do feel, is saying you are... It seems like speed is important, is I guess what I'm trying to spit out here. And it's even in those moments where you stumble, if you make a mistake or whatever, you'll be able to get back up. And, I don't know why I feel like that's important with the Knight of Swords, other than maybe it's saying, like, if you stumble, just get right back up. You'll be perfectly fine. It could be saying that, and, that could be something important for you to know. We're going to clarify. Make sure to leave a comment, by the way, really helps me out. With the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Dive deep, right? Page of Swords is the card of curiosity, card of being like a detective, card of digging into things. So again, dig into those mysteries, Aries. It'll be very helpful. With the Moon, you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is commitment. And, Four of Wands can be marriage and all this other stuff, but they're like, sure, it could be love. You could be thinking about it, but I feel this is more about your commitment to a vision. Again, the Moon is usually something where we are not sure if we can accomplish it or not. That's it. So I feel like for some of you, this is saying, well, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is commit to the vision, whatever it is, and you will definitely be able to accomplish what you are trying to accomplish. Again, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, Aries, but I do think this is an important year for you to decide. It's like this would be a good year for you to be like, this is the year I'm going to do X, Y, Z. This is the year I'm going to make this thing happen, whatever it is. And, that's what I would commit to. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Devil. Again, could be doing things the hard way. I would be careful of that. The Devil can just be toxic energy or being stuck and bound to toxic things. I'm pretty sure in one of your last readings, I said something to you about this year being a good year to eliminate anything toxic. It could be anything. People, places, things, behaviors, habits, whatever. But that could also be creating a burden, and, definitely something that I would think about with the Devil. With the Queen of Pentacles, here you go. You have the King of Pentacles. Could be new love coming in for you. That could be the new chance. Or what you think you missed out on here from the past. And you could be getting a chance to find something that's much, much better than the past. So, that could be a good thing. I also feel that, clearly you could be improving your finances. With the Magician, you have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, the Gemini energy is going to be very important for you this year as well, Aries. So using your mind to come up with other ways of doing things is going to be very important. So, that's pretty much what I would be focusing on if I were you. It's like, how can I use my mind to come up with unique, innovative solutions to the things that I'm working on? A lot of people read this as lying, cheating, stealing, but really, Seven of Swords is a good card. It's a card where it's a golden card, which they're meant to be positive no matter what. And he's sneaking away from this army in the background, and he's avoiding war by stealing those swords. So, basically says everything you want to do, there's probably a better way to do it. You just have to explore. With the Page of Pentacles, yes, you have the Two of Swords again. So, like I said, getting to the bottom of something right here, anything that's a mystery, anywhere you're feeling stuck, right? I feel like the more research on it, like whatever it is that's keeping you stuck, the more research you do, the better. With the Two of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. This can be a card of independence, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily single. To me, the Nine of Pentacles is independence in the sense that you're putting yourself first. She has 3 pentacles here, 6 over here. She is willing to give energy to anything that enters into her life, but she always keeps more than enough for herself. So I always like to remind people, Nine of Pentacles doesn't mean you're alone. It just means that you are practicing, equal give and take. And then, a lot of people say, well, 6 is not equal with 3. It's like, yes, exactly. Obviously, I think the whole notion of 50-50 is ridiculous. It's like we have to take care of ourselves. We have to feed ourselves. We have to sleep, brush our teeth, hopefully, change our socks, our underwear, all those things. So obviously, we barely have enough energy for ourselves, right? So yes, it's not perfectly equal, but there is no such thing as 50-50 in the real world. So there you go. This is a percentage, right? This is like, she's willing to give 10% of her energy to people. If they return the favor, great, she'll give more. This number can increase, and she matches the energy of what people are giving to her. So that's the focus of this card. With the Ace of Wands, you have the King of Wands. Whenever you show up as yourself, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So definitely very positive showing up as yourself here, Aries. And with the Knight of Swords, sorry, you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about seeing clearly for the first time. And so there is a lot of clarity, which is good because we have the moon here. And sometimes the moon requires clarity for us to be able to see like what we're doing. But I do feel like by, your outcome could be you getting a lot of clarity on like your path, a choice that you're going to make, whatever. We're going to pull 5 main themes from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. These are 5 themes for the 6th to the 29th, the 10 conjunctions we're having. You have this lust card. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you were feeling very lusty at this time. I don't know. I think you're going to have a lot of desires during this time. So there you go. I threw it. You have this enterprise card, so yes, definitely very good time for like making money, businesses, all that for you, Aries. So if you are in business, very positive. Even if you're not, even just making more money at work or, working in a better way with that 10 of Wands, you could be having more harvest by focusing on working in a better way. Next, you have this health card. Definitely a good year to focus on vitality in general, like life force is what I would say. I think it's a good year to focus on health. I just feel that there should be a little bit more of a focus on like life force. Like where do you get your life force? What gives you energy? What fills you with good vibes and, things like that. And so that could be like channeling happiness with the happy card. That could be, spending time with people who give you energy, doing things that give you more energy than you put into them. There you go. So, that's what I would focus on with that card. You have this negotiation card. It's like you have the 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords can be being stuck in a stalemate. She's trying to make a decision. I used to say that the 2 of Swords is a card of mediation, like trying to bring 2 sides together, right? And but if you are involved in that, I feel very good about this for you, Aries. Like if you're involved in 2 sides, it doesn't have to be something legal. It could be, but I do feel like things will work out. And finally, you have this, here you go. You have this innovation card. I think I literally said that word in this reading. So definitely an amazing time for you to innovate, especially with the 2 of Swords, finding those 3rd place solutions. This looks really good, Aries. I like it. So thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your month.